This conference will now be recorded.
So it is 8 o'clock. We can start now. Okay. So I'll introduce myself sometime later, not today. Okay. Our class timings every day will be from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Okay. So exactly 1 hour. It will start exactly 8 o'clock. We must have to wind up at any cost at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock there is another batch. We have multiple batches in a day, morning sessions. So every batch should start on time and should wind up at on time. So there are people who have to travel to their office and all. So we must have to close it on time. Okay. So let's proceed now. Today you are here to go ahead and understand about Pega. So before we proceed forward, okay, let me tell you the agenda. Before we proceed forward, let me tell you what are we going to talk about today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Your demo class will be for 3 days. It's not the same demo. Actually, demo class is 3 hours. Today 1 hour, tomorrow 1 hour, and day after tomorrow is going to be 1 hour. By these 3 days, end of day three, you will be having a clear idea about what is Pega, where it is being used, in industries. Okay, and apart from this, what are job opportunities and in across the globe, and duration of the training, projects that we are going to work on, and training process. What is the process that we are going to follow during these training sessions, which includes practical, what we are going to see, how we are going to do practicals, and theory, how it is going to be covered, and documents, how it will be shared. All the process I'm going to tell you. So these 3 days you're going to get clear idea about what is Pega, and also what are the job opportunities, what is the duration of the training, and what we will be covering during this duration, and what are the projects that we are going to work on, what is the exact, other than this, what is the other process that we are going to follow during this tenure of 2.5 months that I'm going to explain. Okay, so today we are going to talk about what is the use of Pega and what is BPM. There will not be any other questions other than these two will be discussed for today. After we complete these two, if we have time, then I will give you time to ask me some queries. Today and tomorrow, most probably tomorrow, first half an hour, till first half an hour, definitely you will not be getting any time to interact with me to ask your own queries. It is just you are going to listen something, and of what you have got information from me today and tomorrow first half an hour. If you have any queries on the same, you can ask me, but no other queries other than what we are going to discuss, because that is going to disturb the flow. We have many other queries that have to be sorted for you guys. What is the use of Pega tool? Why the name Pega? And some queries in which business sectors it is being used. What type of applications that we are going to develop? And what are the versions of Pega? What is the history of Pega? Like this, and some general queries. Are you eligible to learn Pega? Maybe based on your education background, or maybe your work experience background. Some queries that you may have in your mind to ask me. And what is the position that you are going to get into, get in your job after you learn the subject here, after these 2.5 months? How you can apply for the jobs? What is the help that you're going to get during resume preparations and project explanations, interview question and answers? Some kind of general queries, whatever that you have in your mind. Already all these queries are being drafted. We have around 15 plus 11, so total 26 questions, some technical related questions, some general queries. Apart from this, demo class. This is the demo slides. Okay, So today we are going to cover only half of the demo, that is up to slide 8, and from slide 9 I'll take it tomorrow because time will not be sufficient for today. Next half an hour, first half an hour tomorrow from slide 9 to slide 14 we are going to cover. Okay, this is what we're going to see. See, what you're going to understand today is only these 2 points. What is the use of Pega? I didn't tell you what is Pega so far, but today you're going to understand basically what is the use of Pega and what is BPM. This is what you are going to learn. Tomorrow you are going to understand about what is the relation between BPM and Pega, and where Pega is used, why Pega is used, what are the other what are the advantages of Pega over other BPM tools. This and all will be covered later. Okay. Today we are going to get a core understanding about what is the use of Pega and what is BPM. I hope everyone online, I'm audible, right?
Yes.
If you have any queries other than what we are going to discuss, you can come up with your queries maybe after day 3. Day 3 is completely given to you. 45 minutes around in day 3. Apart from the queries and the slides, what we are going to discuss these 2 days. If you have any further queries that is not covered in the document, you can ask me. Day 3 will be completely interactive. At the end of day 3, after day 3, you should not have any other queries to ask me. So you come up and be open to ask me any queries on day 3. Okay. Let's go ahead and proceed forward now. Let's get an idea about what is Pega, what is the use of Pega. I'll tell you what is Pega later. See, today as a learner, suppose if you're going to learn Pega, where you will be in the market. When you get an IT job on this Pega, Pega, let's mention this like a technology as of now, but it is not technology. I'll tell you, but for your easy grasping, I'll mention it like technology. After you learn Pega technology, where you will be in the market to apply for a job position is you are going to be an application developer. Application developer means suppose you take any application, Amazon application, but we will not be developing Amazon application like that using Pega. Any application. You take banking applications, you take insurance processing applications, some applications. Those applications what you are accessing today are being developed using different technologies. UI related technologies like HTML or something, and business logic maybe using Java, .NET or some technologies they'll be using to develop the applications, and database. There should be a database required. So completely all these 3 layers together, user interface and the business logic and database together makes a web application generally. All these 3 we are going to work on while you are learning Pega. You are going to be a developer, full-fledged developer after you learn Pega, who can deal with UI development, who can deal with business logic implementation, who can deal with database manipulations by writing queries in other technologies, but in Pega will not be writing queries. Okay, in Pega nothing you are going to write by yourself like what you do in other technologies. No coding. Okay, 99% no coding. Just 1% there can be. That is not even 100% required actually. That 1%, it is not mandatory that everyone has to learn, but I will tell you that also. Okay, but remember one thing, when you learn Pega, being a developer, you are not required to be writing any code by yourself. It is already ready-made available in the system. So you are going to be a developer still, you are going to be a programmer still, coding skills are not required. Finding out something what is already there in the system and use it for your application development purpose. Still you develop applications like what you are developing using Java, .NET and all. Same you do here in Pega, but the difference is there you are going to write your own business coding related to HTML, related to business logic of using any technology, or related to database. But all that is eliminated when you come to Pega BRPC, but still you are going to be a developer without writing a code. So you are going to be an application developer who is going to develop some applications, whether it is intranet applications or internet applications. Mostly Pega applications are intranet applications, which I will tell you. Okay, so the use of Pega is used in order to develop applications. So applications like, just to mention you, if you have ever gone through insurance processing applications or banking applications that you see in banks, suppose when you deposit some amount of money in your bank account, The cashier is going to open one application from their end, right? The application they will open, search for your account and add the amount that you are trying to credit, and then just submit the form so that the amount will get reflected in your account. It will be getting updated. That application generally will not be available for or accessible for end users like us. We will never access that application. But that application is going to do some business process in a real business. Suppose if you see ATM application also, it will do some kind of business process, but we will be accessing that application as an end user. Amazon application you will be accessing, but there will be applications behind the scenes in Amazon. Logistics maintenance. The products that they are going to get into their firm, they have to maintain the products. For that also they need to maintain the applications. So in any business if you take, there are applications which are directly accessible to end users like the common citizens of the country like us. And there are applications, those applications will be accessible only to employees of organizations. Suppose if you take insurance applications, will not be accessible to us. Maybe you will submit one form. After that, in the background, there will be a lot of functionality that have to be processed by insurance people. For that, they will use different application. Bank applications, money deposit, check processing applications. These also will be done by application processing, but those applications will not be accessible to us, but will be accessible to banking employees. Okay, like this, in any business, you take applications, those applications are accessible to only internal teams, those applications are accessible only to outside resources. Okay, when you come to Pega, Pega is used to develop applications, those are internal applications. Internal applications means the applications which will be accessed only by back operations teams. Back operations teams means employees of organization. Like banking applications to deposit money, and the other applications like, just give me 1 minute. Hello? Chapandi. Road number Vasantanagar lo Gokul Flats, Vasantanagar Gokul Flats cross roads అని అడగండి. అక్కడ మీకు లొకేషన్ పంపించారు కదా క్లియర్ గా, డైరెక్షన్స్ కూడా. ఉషా సూపర్ మార్కెట్ అని అడగండి. ఉషా సూపర్ మార్కెట్ దగ్గర హర్ష ట్రైనింగ్స్ అని ఉంటుంది, 4 roads జంక్షన్ లో. Okay, so this is what about Pega applications. Pega applications 99.9%. Today, if I have to tell you 100 out of 100% applications that we are going to develop using Pega are back operations applications. It doesn't mean that we cannot develop applications like Amazon and all. We can develop, but that is not the actual purpose of providing this Pega environment. Okay, so using Pega, we can develop applications of any type, but mostly today you see the applications that are running on Pega are back operations applications, which are being accessible to employees of organization. This is the purpose of Pega, is to develop applications, any applications. Now, you would have heard in the market that Pega is a BPM tool. Pega is not a technology like Java, C, and C#, VB. These are all technologies. Pega is not a technology. You can consider Pega as a product. There is an organization called Pega Systems. They come up with a product. Let me show you the product form. This is the product form. Okay, this is the product. Using this product, you can develop applications. This is a ready-made product where ready-made functionalities are available, provided to developers. Using the ready-made functionalities, developers can build their own applications for their own business purpose. In a business, all business applications are not going to use the same kind of implementations. Banking is different implementation compared to insurance. And if you take service and call center applications, completely different. In order to develop any kind of these applications, we need common functionalities generally, right? So those common functionalities are ready-made available. Suppose if you take two different business applications, insurance and banking, to create a bank account or to create an insurance account, you need to submit basic customer details, right? So in order to submit basic customer details, the attributes are customer's first name, customer's last name, date of birth, and the identification numbers. These are the basic details. This form is common if you go to any business, whichever the business that you are going to see. In all businesses, if you want to capture customer details, form can be same form. That means if I design this form once and provide in this environment, in this tool, and I'm going to sell this tool to different types of business vendors. All the business vendors, when they wanted to create a form in order to capture customers' basic data, they can go ahead and simply directly use the form which is ready-made available, right? If they wanted to customize, they can simply customize. So this is one example where the business functionalities like these common features and common functionalities of different types of businesses are being identified by Pegasystems and provided as a product. When you buy this product, you can develop your applications by using ready-made functionalities which are already available. You still can modify the functionalities which are provided, can create your own functionalities by yourself without writing any code related to user interface or business logic or databases. So your development can be done using something what is already available, or modifying something what is already provided in the system, or creating by yourself. But all these cases doesn't require any coding. Coding here doesn't mean only business logic. It means UI coding, business logic coding, or database queries also. You are not required to write. Queries will get automatically generated. We'll discuss more about all this going forward. So I wanted to give you just a basic idea about what is the use of Pega PRPC is used to develop applications, but still being a developer, you are not required to write any code by yourself related to UI, logic, or databases. So anyone from any background should be able to learn Pega. The main motive of Pegasystems is to provide an application development environment that can be used by application developers, those who doesn't have any technical skills. So without being a technical, without having technical skills also, you should be able to develop business applications using Pega PRPC tool. As of now today, we need some basic skills. Compared to other technologies, you need only 1%, where other technologies requires 100% of technical skills related to different technologies. But while Pega requires only 1% of your technical knowledge. Help just address address. Okay, so this is what about Pega PRPC, Pega use. You would have heard in the market that Pega is a BPM tool. Everyone has clear idea. I have told you as a statement everything. I didn't tell you what is that is provided behind, how you are going to make use of it. I didn't explain all those things. That will be covered while we are working. Okay, so by this time you should have clear idea about what is the use of Pega for you as a developer. End users anyway, they'll be accessing the applications, business people, and processing their business. Pega is mainly meant for processing any of the business content, like the transactional processing. If you wanted to do implementation of your transactional processing, for that you can use Pega PRPC. So Pega is called as a BPM tool. So before we understand more about Pega, we need to understand why it is called as a BPM tool. Before we understand why it is called as a BPM tool, we have to get a clear idea about what is BPM means. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about that now. This is what we are going to see now. What is BPM and its features till slide 8. After that, in comparison to Pega, why it is called a BPM tool. And then you are going to understand what is PRPC stands for, what is the meaning of exact PRPC. Pega, BPM, Pega PRPC. All these are different terms. Ultimately, it is related to only one single framework. That is what Pega generically. Okay. Pegasystems is name of the organization, the owner of this product. That is the organization which has developed this product. Okay. So now let's go ahead and understand about what is BPM first, and then we'll talk about what is Pega, relation between Pega and BPM. Okay. Purely we're going to talk about what is BPM. As I told you, Pega is used to develop applications. You have to keep in mind that BPM is also used to develop applications. Okay. Throughout the demo about BPM, you just keep in your mind that BPM is used to develop applications. This is clear, everyone? So let's go ahead and start now. So everyone clear online? Okay. So BPM, the abbreviation of BPM. BPM stands for Business Process Management, which provides the ability to have end-to-end visibility and control over all parts of a multi-step transaction in a business application. It can be in one or more business applications, a number of applications, whatever it is. So BPM stands for Business Process Management, which provides the ability to have end-to-end visibility and control over all parts of a multi-step transaction in a business application. As I told you, BPM you use to develop business applications. Let's understand this definition in detail, each word by word. First of all, let's concentrate on understanding about transaction. So what do you mean by transaction? Suppose you take any application. In one single application, you can have different transactions, right? Each transaction is one processing. Means suppose you take a banking application, you can perform transactions of sending money from one account to another account. That is one type of transaction. TPT, third party transfer. You can perform a transaction of paying credit card bill. You can perform a transaction of applying for a checkbook. These are all different, n number of transactions in one application. So first of all, what do you mean by transaction? Just go ahead and tell me, what do you mean by transaction in general terminology that you are aware of? Someone online or offline? Just tell me, what do you mean by a transaction in any business? If you want to simply understand, just go ahead with a business of banking and tell me, what do you mean by transaction?
It is something like communication between the two parties. In an application, it can be between the front end and the back end, or if it's in a normal life, it can be between a human and a computer. Anything, any communication is called as a transaction.
Between either two applications or a human and an application in order to perform some work, in order to complete some work. It can be any type of work. So any work that you are going to initiate and complete the work. Completion of the work can be successful, or completion of the work can be failed, or it can be pending. It's not pending, I'm sorry. Completion of the work can be rejected. Completion of the work can be revoked. Either of the ways it is completed. A work that you are going to initiate, whatever the type of work, and you're going to take it forward and do complete the work. This is called one single transaction. In one single work, you can have a number of different actions to be taken, right? Suppose you take a work. The work is simple ATM card flow of money withdrawal process. If you're trying to withdraw money, what is the complete transaction process? The transaction process will be like initiate the transaction and then give the inputs of card number and PIN numbers. And then you enter the amount that you wanted to withdraw. This is another step. Internally, there will be steps. These are the external steps outside that you see. Once you give card number and PIN number, there will be another step that will be executed internally in the application. That is verifying the card number and PIN number. It should match the card number with the PIN number and all. Perfectly matched, it is going to ask you. Select the account type. Select it and then enter the amount that you wanted to withdraw. And after you enter the amount and click on proceed, it has to verify whether the amount what you have entered is sufficient with respect to the balance what you have in your account. After this verification is done, okay, sufficient funds are there, it will proceed asking for the confirmation. Just go ahead and confirm. It will give you money. Transaction is completed successfully. Anywhere something is not matching, it is going to say transaction has been declined, but it is still completed, but declined. Okay. Okay, like this is one single work that you are going to perform in a banking business. So entire work, whatever that we have, that I have told you now, it is called as one single transaction. In this work, we have many different steps, multiple different tasks that have to be performed. Giving card number input as an input, card number and PIN number is one single task. Verifying this card number internally is one more task. And entering the amount is another task. And verifying the balance comparing with the amount what you have entered is one more task that will be internally done. Disbursing the amount is also another task. Initiation is also one task. Like this combination of multiple tasks together is going to make one single work to be done. In a business terminology, your work is called as a transaction, business transaction, and each task is one single step that will be executed in transactional process. Okay, so a transaction means it is a unit of work that can be processed in order to make some work being done in any kind of business. Okay, what do you mean by multi-step transaction? What do you mean by multi-step? You can tell me now after you understand what do you mean by what is the transaction. You can tell me what is meant by multi-step transaction. Multi-step transaction means a transaction which has multiple different tasks involved. Each task is equal to one steps. All these tasks are connected to each other, right? So task 1 in connection with task 2. From task 2 it will go to task 3. There will be an order of processing actually. Okay, like this. So first step and then next step. In between there can be decisions like this. If it is going to match, execute this particular step. If it is not going to match, execute another different type of step like this. So like this, PRPC is like this. Your transaction processing is combination of multiple different steps. That is the meaning of multi-step transaction. A transaction while designing, which has been designed to have multiple tasks, where each task is equal to one single step. All these steps are connected to each other. While processing, it will be processed in the same order accordingly. This is what meant by multi-step transaction in a business process. In a BPM, if you are designing your application transactions, you have to design the application transactions like a flowchart. Ultimately, it is like a flowchart. Let me show you in Pega. This is called a flow diagram. It is a flowchart. Your transaction design have to be done using BPM tool in your application. While you are designing your transaction, you should have to design it step by step. So these are multiple steps where each and every step is connected, where your transaction initiation will happen at the beginning and it is going to be completed at the end. In between, multiple tasks will be done. The task can be front-end task, the task can be a back-end task, whatever it is. Okay, so this is what my multi-step transaction. In a BPM, the transaction design will be done like designing it like a flow chart, where you are going to add multiple steps and connect these steps to one another. This is clear. So it's like a flow chart. Let's go ahead here. Let's understand what is meant by which provides the ability to have end-to-end visibility and control over all parts of a transaction that you are designing. Whatever the transaction design that you are taking care of, what is meant by providing the ability to have end-to-end visibility and control on the work that you are implementing. Let's take any project. If you take any project, let's talk about with respect to development client. What is the initial phase of any project with respect to development client? If you take development client is not the end use, not end client. Suppose you take TCS working for JP Morgan. JP Morgan is actual client. Development client is vendor is TCS. With respect to TCS, with respect to development client, what is the initial phase of kickoff for any project? It is requirements. First, you have to talk to the client and get the requirements from the client. After you receive requirement, what is the next phase?
Planning, how to implement that.
Planning. So you are going to perform planning and analysis, and after that you are going to proceed with
Design.
development, just top level phases, development and then testing, and then move it to live environment. Live environment, actual business will run. Developers are going to develop Amazon application on development servers. After all the development phases are completed, it will be moved to another server which we are accessing regularly by typing amazon.in. Okay, that is actual live server where actual business users are going to connect and perform real business transactions. All these phases have to be executed. See, once your product is live on the live environment, that means your project is completed. Maybe you will just go ahead and keep on work on it, but it is completed. That means that's why it has went to live. See, after this, there is one more phase that might be needed for a business. That is what called as reporting. Reporting will, you can develop reporting before itself, but reporting execution will happen after you move it to live environment. So after your application is live, after some business transactions have been done, business is going to take the reports, generate the reports, and do analyze their business in order to take further steps to improve the business. Okay, what are the transactions in my banking application that have been happened for for last 30 days, which are for an amount greater than $1 million. So this is one kind of report. An amount between a range of 10,000 to $1 million. And what are the number of withdrawal transactions that have been done? How many transactions have successfully completed? How many transactions have failed for some reasons? Like this business wanted to take reports. To generate the reports, you have to implement the reporting feature in your application while developing it. Generally, if you wanted to go ahead and implement the reporting, suppose if your application is developed using Java, using .NET or any other technologies, if you wanted to go ahead with reporting, you need to buy a reporting tool from third-party vendors. Can someone name some of the tools that you are aware of for reporting purpose?
Google Analytics,
Tableau, ClickView, Crystal Reports, MSBI, Microsoft Business Intelligence related products are there. And like this, there are a number of tools available in market. You have to again spend some amount of money to buy this reporting tool, integrate with your databases, and then hire a reporting developer and then implement the reporting features so that business can use these features and generate the reports. When you come to BPM, it is different. As you are an application developer that you are going to develop your applications using BPM environment, apart from this development, from requirement phase to complete development and deployment, everything will be done by developer, plus reporting also can be done by developer itself, because this tool is an integrated development environment which provides the solutions for your business application from end to end. End-to-end solutions will be provided when you use BPM tool, that is from requirement phase to complete reporting phase, including all the phases of development. Requirements, including generating documents, including development, versioning, deployments, plus reporting. Everything can be done on one single environment. That is what BPM environment. So that is what meant by providing end-to-end solutions for your application. Generally, you take any technology, we need UI developers separately to be hired. Those who are better aware of HTML, the jQuery, some JavaScript, some advanced UI tools in any technology. Similarly, business logic, we need core Java developers, we need advanced Java developers, Struct, Springs, Hibernate. When you come to .NET, we need someone who knows basic .NET, someone who knows advanced .NET concept, something like this. And database wise, we need to hire a separate developer for databases. Those who can write better queries using SQL, PLSQL, stored procedure. These are all technical resources we have to hire separately for each individual component, where you are going to deal with UI, logic, database, and even reporting, separate developers. But when you go and buy a product, which is a BPM product, all these are integrated without coding, can be done by one single person. That is a developer without having the knowledge of all this UI, business logic, database, and reporting backend development, because that will be auto-generated in BPM. So that's how BPM system is going to provide you end-to-end solutions for your applications. This is clear, everyone? Now, so the definition here is BPM abbreviation is business process management. By providing you an environment using which you can do the things from requirement phase to complete reporting phase, and by designing your transaction processing like a flow chart so that it can be easily understandable to anyone. By providing all this BPM environment is going to manage the way how your business have to be processed. How your business have to be processed have to be designed by developer. All that facility is provided by business process management tool. This is clear, everyone? This is what meant by business process management, BPM. Everyone clear? Okay. Anyone has any questions in BPM definition? Okay. So let's proceed to next slide. Just basically, just on cream level, we are going to talk about this slide. The difference between traditional application development and BPM application development. This is the topmost layer of understanding. In depth, we are not going to discuss. That you are going to understand while we are working. What is the difference between a BPM application and a traditional application development using Java, .NET, or something? Can someone please note online? You are not required to share your webcam anytime. Give me 1 minute. Sorry. Is that noise coming? Anit Swami, you have two different connections for same meeting. That's why it is resounding. Okay, I have muted you. If you have any questions, you can give a message on GoToMeeting. Yeah, now everyone is on mute. Okay, anyone has any questions for today? You just use GoToMeeting chatting window. Okay, do not unmute for today till you get a practice of this mute and unmute. Do not unmute. Let's go ahead now. What is the difference between traditional application development and a BPM application development? In either of these two applications, as I have already told you, we have UI, logic, and database. All these three will be there. But in BPM, you will not write anything by yourself. It is already provided. In traditional application development, you have to write. But leave about coding wise. Just talk about layers wise. You have a layer of UI. You have a layer of business logic. You have a layer of database. All this will be there in BPM. All this will be there in traditional application development. But apart from these three, BPM is going to have one more component that is called process. That is called process, or you call it as workflow. Your processing will be done by initiating the workflow. Here you go ahead. This is the workflow. I am going to initiate the workflow. Actual business users are not going to initiate this way. Business users are going to run the workflows in a different way. But here as a developer, I am going to run this. If you initiate executing workflow is going to display UI and backend execution will happen according to the actions that you are going to perform. But ultimately, your processing will be initiated and will be completed by workflow only. These workflows you will not see in other technologies mostly. Workflow you may see in some reporting tools, but that is not business process management. That is reporting management. That's it. Only reporting. If you take MSBI, maybe workflow design can be there, but that is only for reporting. That is not for application processing. Here we are going to talk about it completely application processing, including reporting as well. So in fact, in BPM, you're going to have a process compared to additional other technologies. That process you call it as a workflow. Let's understand what do you mean by a process. A process is a unit of work. Why you are going to design workflows or processes? The reason being you are going to design your transaction. Your entire transaction is called one single unit of work. So a process is a work, is a unit of work that can be completed either by acceptance or rejection. In general terminology, a process is a work that can be completed either by acceptance or rejection. Let's say, just as an example, suppose if I'm trying to withdraw money from an ATM. So while I'm performing a transaction, in first case, I got the money, it has been debited from my account. Transaction is completed successfully, no issues. In later case, I did not get the money dispensed from the machine, but it has been debited from my account. I didn't get hard cash from the machine. In this case, just tell me, this is a question to you, transaction is completed or not completed? In this case also transaction completed, but it is completed failed. For some reason we are not sure. Can we reinitiate this same transaction? Is it possible? Yes. It is not possible. You have to initiate the transaction from the beginning, new transaction, but you have to make a call to customer care and report the issue. They will just go through the issue and credit back the amount from the backend to your account, maybe after certain time. So, but either of the cases, a transaction can be completed in multiple different ways. Completed successful, completed failed, completed accepted, completed rejected, completed withdrawn, completed revoked by user itself. Okay, like this, there can be a number of different ways that a transaction can be completed, but ultimately a transaction is completed. Either successful or unsuccessful, accepted or rejected. Okay, this is what meant by a process. A process is a unit of work that is being processed and completed either successful or unsuccessful. Okay, so see, as I was telling you, you can design all this using BPM environment. Your application transaction model you can design using BPM environment. So that means you need an environment, application development environment to design and define or develop anything, right? Suppose you take C language. If you want to develop something, you need that editors where you can write down the coding and it can compile and then process it. If you take Java, maybe you need Eclipse environment or some other environments provided by third-party vendors to process all this, to design, develop, and process. If you take C# and .NET, you need that Microsoft Visual Studio environment. any technology you're going to use, in order to develop your applications, you need an environment for sure. IDE. Similarly, in a BPM, if you are going to develop applications, it provides an environment. You generically call it as BPM suite. BPM suite is an environment using which you can develop applications. In other terminology, the same. Here you can see it is a software system. Means it's an environment, means it's a product, right? Software product. It's a software system that allows for the direct execution of the business process. Whatever the business that you design and develop, that can be executed using that environment, considering some built-in business rules. Considering some built-in business rules. We need to understand this. What do you mean by a business rule? In general, here you go. Think of a business rule as a statement. So far, everyone clear? Everyone clear so far?
Yes.
There are a number of BPM tools. I'll tell you the names of the tools later. First, let's understand about what is BPM. So far, everyone clear, right? Now, in the BPM tool definition, I told you BPM is a software product using which you can develop applications, but by considering some built-in business rules. We are going to understand about business rule in general, not technically. Technically, I'll tell you later. Let's understand functionally first. What do you mean by business rule? Think of a business rule as a statement aimed to influence the behavior of a system. Business rule is a statement aimed which is going to influence the behavior of a particular system. In general, in our real life. Suppose if I am driving on a car on a road. Okay. Once I see the red signal, I am going to stop before zebra crossing. After I see the green, I am going to move on. So this signal, what you see, red signal, this is a rule. This is a traffic rule that is applied on me, that is influencing my behavior in the society. So same is applicable in technology also. Technology also defines some rules. That rules will be executed while you are making your transactions. According to the rules, the transaction processing will be impacted. Okay. So suppose you are applying for a loan. You are a diamond customer to the bank. What is the rule here? Based on you are a diamond customer, same processing will be done for every customer. But as you are a diamond customer, you are going to get discount in processing fees. Processing fees 0%. Same processing will be done for a customer called platinum. Processing fees of 1%. Same processing will be done for another type of customer, regular customer, processing fees of 2%. But in all cases, same processing. But there is a rule that is applied in the processing. That is what? Customer type. So based on this rule is impacting the processing, influencing the behavior of the process, how it should behave differently for different types of customers. So this is how in any business you take n number of rules will be there. So let's take a credit card. Consider the financial transaction business process for credit cards. A simple business rule may be the total amount can due by a customer should not exceed customer's credit limit. Very simple. Suppose if I have a credit card, I went to a purchase center. The credit card limit is 3 lakhs. I purchased for 5 lakhs. I am trying to pay using the same card which has 3 lakh limit. I am trying to pay 5 lakh rupees. What happens? It is going to
Decline the transaction.
Yeah, transaction has been declined, insufficient funds. So here there is something called credit limit. Credit limit is a rule that is applied on my credit card. It is from card to card, it can be different. So that is influence the behavior of credit system when I swipe the card. When I pass this rule to credit system, that is influencing the behavior of particular credit system, how it has to behave based on this business rule. Like this, there will be a number of business rules will be there in your business process. So all these business rules are going to influence the behavior of the particular business process management system while processing. So these business rules should be residing somewhere, right? My credit card limit is not written on the card. It is not entered in the purchase center system, but it will be there somewhere else residing. Where it will be available? In the database. Database will be available at third party like card banking system, maybe card system, whoever it is. But like this, n number of business rules in a business will be residing in a database. The database we technically here call it as business rules database. So in a BPM, we have process, that is what workflow. We have business rules, and all the business rules will be there in a database called business rules database. Okay. So what is there in BPM? BPM we have process. This is called as workflow. This using this you are going to design your transactions. Second one is business roles. These are going to influence the behavior of your transactional process. Previous one will be influenced by this one. And third one is business rules database. This is the one which is going to hold the second one. Second one will be sitting in business rules database. Business rules database, business rules are going to impact the processing of your business. See, business rules are there in business rules database. Application is there here at the purchase center. We need these rules to be driven from database to the application. So it is there in database doesn't mean it is simply going to influence the system, right? It has to be taken from the database, driven from the database to till your application transaction processing, and there should be some comparison done, and then accordingly it has to take a decision, right? So for driving something from database to front end or maybe into the business application, we need a program. We have to write a program. If you want to interact with database, you need a program, SQL program. This SQL program might be invoked by HTML program or business logic program, whatever it is. We need a program to be written which acts as an interface between application and business rules database, right? So that program is also ready-made available in BPM. That is called as business rules engine. It is not hardware, it is software, right? What is that? Business rules engine. Business rules engine is a software program which acts as an interface between business rules database and your business application, and which drives the business rules from business rules database to till application in order to achieve the required goal. This is clear, everyone? So this is what meant by business rules engine. Here you can see business rules engine. I'm going to share all this. If you maximize this from 100% to maybe like this, you will see all that, okay, while you are reading it. So this business rules engine is going to act as an interface between actual application and business rules database and drive the business rules database from business rules database to application. From application it may take and save into business rule database. Both ways of communication. So like this is your business rules engine is going to act as an interface between BPM. So in a BPM we have mainly 4 components. That is workflow used to design your business transactional processing, and business rules which influence your transactional processing, and business rules database which holds all the business rules into it, and business rules engine which is going to drive the business rules from business rules database to your application in order to complete your business transaction. So whatever that we have discussed so far about BPM, it's not reality, it's a methodology. What do you mean by methodology? So far I've told you BPM tool as a product you would have imagined, right? It's not a product ready-made available and provided by someone. It's a methodology defined by someone. So what do you mean by methodology? What do you mean by methodology? Sorry? Approach. See, use this approach. Define all the components and design your own environment for application development. Then your tool is going to be, your application development environment is going to be set as BPM tool. So now there are a number of vendors across the globe. Like Pegasystems is one of the vendors, Appian is another vendor, Cordis, Blaze, Activity, and what are the other vendors that you are aware of? Area of study, someone is saying. Like this, there are a number of vendors, Oracle, IBM, all these are different vendors. Those have come up, taken this BPM methodology. See, methodology is provided, implementation is not provided. This is how it should be system. You implement using any technology of your wish, the way you want you implement it. But ultimately, product should look like this, having all these components. And number of people, if they design the tool, all they are going to design the same way. Ultimately, it is same, but the implementation can be different for different developers. So a number of people have come forward, different vendors. They have designed and developed their own application development environments using this BPM methodology. They named the tool as their own naming convention. Pega has named it as Pega PRPC. Pega PRPC. The tool name is Pega PRPC. Abbreviation is Pega Rules Process Command. IBM has given the name. What is the name? IBM Lombardy, right? IBM Lombardy. That is what BPM tool. Oracle named it as Oracle BPM. Appian named it as Appian BPM. Cordis, Blaze, these are all tool names. All these tools' purpose is same, application development. But why Pega Systems is leading the market, I'll tell you later, after we understand about Pega. So different vendors. Suppose today you can come up, you can come forward, take the BPM methodology and design your own environment where other people can develop applications. So like this, Pega has come forward, adopted BPM methodology, designed and developed a tool called Pega Rules Process Commander for application development purpose, and they are selling it to different vendors. You buy it, you can develop your application. It is licensed version. Okay, this is about relation between BPM and Pega or any other tool. If you call a tool as a BPM tool, meaning that it is a development tool following BPM methodology. It has been developed using BPM methodology. The underlying methodology is BPM. That is what meant by BPM. And any tool that you call it as a BPM tool, Pega BPM tool, Appian BPM tool, Oracle BPM tool, IBM BPM tool, these are all using BPM methodology. Similarly, we have CRM is a different methodology. CRM, Salesforce, like the different vendors are there. Pega also CRM is there. But when you come to BPM world, Pega is leading the market. I'll tell you reasons tomorrow. When you come to say CRM, Salesforce is leading the market. Even though Pega BPM is there, Pega CRM is there. In BPM, Pega has provided best solutions to clients. In CRM, Salesforce has provided. As far as I know, Salesforce is leader in CRM market. Has provided best solutions. There are other Salesforce vendors. Okay, so other CRM vendors available in market. Sorry. Okay, so reasons behind leading the market by Pega, I'll tell you later. This is about BPM and Pega. You can ask me any questions if you have. Out of what we have discussed today, no other queries that are there in the document. You're going to ask me. I'll tell you all these queries. We'll sort out tomorrow. Remaining slides about what is Pega Rules Process Commander. Remaining slides we'll discuss tomorrow, because even though I started, maybe I can complete 2 slides, which will be incomplete. So this is first phase of demo about BPM and relation between Pega and BPM. You should have clear idea by this time. If you have any questions, you can ask me.
I have a question. So since in the beginning we talked that Pega is only for the internal ones and it's not something with the external ones. So is it not that we can?
You're asking about?
Yes, like we thought where if we develop Pega
Yes.
with all business rules and all, it's only for the internal employees and not with the external facing websites and all that. So is there not way that we can connect Pega, whatever business rules and all using with an external facing website?
Okay, so let me repeat the question. As I have told you, today if you see in the market, Pega applications are back operations applications, meaning that accessible to back operations teams, meaning that accessible to employees of organization, which is internal applications. It doesn't mean you can develop only internal applications. You can develop applications like Amazon. That is not the purpose of Pega. The purpose of Pega tool is to process business with limited number of users. Because of licensing cost, people are not using it. I can develop an application like Amazon. I can develop an application like Flipkart. The applications what we are accessing outside world, except social networking. We can develop any applications except social networking and games. Gaming applications we cannot develop. Okay.
Okay.
We can develop any applications wherein which you need business processing to be done. With limited number of users is better, because your licensing cost is $1 million when you go to Pega. Suppose if I take Amazon application, I can develop using Pega, no issues. Same processing I can achieve. But how many users? Millions of users are going to access. The licensing cost will be charged per user, per connection. Okay, based on that. That's why Pega applications are not being developed like Amazon applications to be accessible outside. Generally, in any business, your internet applications will be accessible maximum by 1,000 resources, maybe 2,000, maximum 5,000, not more than that. But applications like Amazon, millions per minute. On an average you take per minute, there will be millions of users landing onto the application server. So based on that, cost will be huge. That's why Pega is not meant. You can develop applications, but it is not recommended to go out with to develop applications where large number of users are going to land on the application server. Okay.
Okay,
And
thank you.
we are going to work on Pega BPM, not CRM at all. Okay, that is not required. Any other questions? Like this, if you have document, I am going to mail. I'm not going to mail you the document. I'm going to share you on WhatsApp. For first 3-4 days, you'll be receiving anything on WhatsApp only. Till I am going to create your email group, you will be receiving the documents on WhatsApp for first 4 days. I hope everyone is receiving messages on WhatsApp, right? Anyone is not receiving message on WhatsApp? See, if you have already inquired, but how do you know the address? Okay, if you are not receiving a message on your personal WhatsApp, you just ping me on the number. What is the number here? WhatsApp on this number. And one more thing is, we are going to send the messages in broadcast, not to every individual. When I send you a message in broadcast, it will land into your inbox, your WhatsApp inbox, only when you have this contact is saved in your phone. If this contact is not saved, even though we had personal conversation without saving the contact on WhatsApp, broadcast will not be landing onto your inbox, the WhatsApp inbox. So remember to save this contact on your phone, then only you'll receive broadcast message. If you're not receiving today, even though you have my number and communication has happened, that means you have not saved the contact. Save it. Those who have not even saved the contact, no communication before, give a message on this WhatsApp. I'll send you this. I'll just add to broadcast. Today I'll share the document, maybe after 11 o'clock. Okay, everyone clear? So we'll wind up for today. We'll continue tomorrow with remaining sites for first half an hour. After that, we'll go ahead with the queries in the document. After this is completed, you have a chance to talk to me. Okay. Suppose if you wanted to talk to me today, after class is not possible for me because there will be another batch. If you want to talk to me personally, you have this number, right? You can give a call on this number, 11 a.m. IST onwards, anytime. Resources from US and other countries, maybe it will be already late night. Okay, you can give me a call once you wake up in the morning. Okay, on the same number, what I've given you, so that I can talk to you for any clarifications, anything. After the class, I will not be available to talk to you any day, same thing. But I will be available after 10 o'clock. Means after this 9 o'clock, 1 hour class is there, I will be available. Okay, fine. So you can wind up for today. You can talk to me later. Thank you very much for joining. Tomorrow also make sure you're going to join on time like today, 8 o'clock sharp. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, నాకు ఒకసారి message చేయండి. Okay, online resources who has connected for 7 o'clock. If you wanted to ask me something, give a message on WhatsApp. I'll respond to you in some time, or call me after some time as told. As of now, you are going to exit the meeting. Sorry for not giving time to ask me something or communicate with me. Just go ahead and make sure you're going to exit the meeting. Do not close your browser directly. On GoToMeeting, choose an option called exit meeting, so that we can proceed with only 9 o'clock resources. Everyone 7 o'clock must exit the meeting. Thank you very much. ఈవినింగ్ మాట్లాడాక కాల్ చేయండి. ఏమైంది 8:30కి ఉన్నాను. 8:30కి ఇంట్లో ఉంటాను. ఇంటి దగ్గరికి వచ్చుకున్నాను. అది కాదు మానేవాడు నాకు అప్పుడు ఆ టైంలో మెసేజ్ చేయండి, నేను చెప్తాను. కాల్ చేయండి, మాట్లాడాలి. నాకు గుర్తుంది, నాకు కాల్ చేయండి. So everyone who has connected at 7 o'clock, I mean 8 o'clock for the demo, 8 o'clock must exit the meeting. Arun Kumar, someone with name Arun Kumar can exit the meeting. Srinivasa can exit the meeting. Tamil Arsan can exit the meeting. Srinivasa, you are for 8 o'clock batch, right?